Go. Hey, welcome back, Titans Tube. That's us. We're finally back. We're making another video again. Sorry for the long delays. Caleb, how's life out there in Denver?
It's very Denver-ish.
Oh, I've heard a lot of Denver-y things about that place. Anyway, we've just been chilling, but while we've been chilling, we have a general manager on the Tennessee Titans that is making moves, and he's not apologizing about any of them. Making a big splash in free agency this year, Caleb. We're seeing some needs on this roster that are being filled immediately, and we're just going to discuss some of these exciting sightings from the New England Patriots. First of all, let's discuss and say goodbye to some of our players that we have departed from. Not surprisingly, a lot of people were expecting this one. DeMarco Murray was released, a couple weeks ago? Last week? Kind of late to this one. But yeah, DeMarco Murray, do you remember how much we would have owed him had he played for us this year? It was something like $6 or $7 million.
Not what he was worth, I would say. So,
we saw the regression, possibly starting all the way back to the end of the 2016 season, where he just hadn't been the same, hobbled by injuries all year. But man, that guy is a Titans legend in my heart. I'll always love DeMarco Murray for the 2 years that he spent here and helping turn this franchise around. So sad to see him go, but I think it was what was best for the team. I know a lot of fans wanted him to stick around and maybe complement Henry as like a third down back, but paying a guy $6 million to be your third down back just doesn't make a lot of sense.
True.
But yeah, I think it is the right move. Do you have any part?
You know what? I want him to be remembered fondly in Tennessee. I kind of don't think he will, though. As all of the Titans who have contributed as much as he has for the team, I just feel like most of his tenure here, people were always just looking past him, wanting Derrick Henry to start outside of his first season with us. But after that, when he started getting injured, I feel like people were very quick to dismiss him and want to go ahead and just, give the reins to Henry. So I feel like maybe I'm wrong in this, but I have a lot of respect for what he did for the organization, helping us turn it back around. So I hope that you watching this have some respect for DeMarco too. He was a good Titan. He had a short tenure, but it doesn't matter. He helped us make leaps and strides in the right direction. So remember DeMarco Murray fondly as a Tennessee Titan. Overall, it was expected. I think it was the right move by the Titans. I wish DeMarco Murray the best in the rest of his career. So wherever else he goes, just don't go to the Colts, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Did he get signed by someone? I haven't even followed.
Latest is the Dolphins are interested in him. I think he visited with Detroit, but they signed somebody else.
Detroit was the last I heard of him. Anyways, good luck, DeMarco. Let's move on. I'll miss seeing you in Whole Foods.
We salute you. Yeah, that was a really good memory.
So good.
So that goodbye took longer than anticipated. A few other departures. Sad to see Carl KLUUUG go. Can we get one last KLUUUG? Who are we gonna do that for now? Who's another player that has
the
Luke
Stalker on the team?
We'll figure it out. Luke.
He was such a valuable asset after we signed him. Last year it was great.
Yeah, excellent. Carl KLUUUG. Unfortunately, kind of unexpected. He did have an injury last season, and I think that we saw the effects of that. He was not the same player after that injury, but he had been a rotational player on this defensive line for the past 7 years. A fan favorite. He's the epitome of the gritty, hard-working, blue-collar type of player, and you want to have a lot of those guys in your locker room and in the team atmosphere with you. So we're going to miss that from him. Sad to see him go. Hopefully he gets a chance to sign on with somebody else and continues playing. But yeah, we did save some money, though.
He had a major production decline after the injury, and I just think it was too much of a risk to try and keep him on with his current contract and expect him to get back to the level he was producing at before his injury. So, once again, I think it was the right move, clearing some space on the D-line. Right? Yeah.
And exactly. And today, we're doing that again. Another defensive lineman, Sylvester Williams, our free agent signing from last year. We cut him today. We released him. I didn't expect it, but Sylvester Williams really didn't bring much at all to us last year. I sometimes forgot that we had even signed him, and he was even on the field because he didn't really show up at all during games. So,
I was actually going to say that the last time I didn't even remember that Sylvester Williams was actually on the roster until I saw my notification on my phone today that we had released him. I was like, oh yeah, totally forgot we signed Sylvester Williams. Glad that he had a great one season with us.
And it's nice seeing, John Robinson perhaps maybe recognizing that maybe this wasn't the right signing to make. Maybe I possibly made a mistake here, and so he immediately, corrects it, lets it go, wipes his hands clean from the situation. But yeah, that's 2 defensive linemen that we've released, and saving at maybe around $5-6 million total between them. So who do you think we could throw that money at, Caleb? Is there a free agent signing? Or a free agent available?
Suh.
That is the big story. And he might have already signed a deal by the time this video comes out because he's visiting with the Saints and he's scheduled to visit with the Titans next. And Caleb, the hype is just continuing on with this team. We haven't even gotten to our signings from the Patriots yet, but the hype is just nonstop. If we sign Suh, man, I love saying that. I'm going to say dude, for like the entire season. That's like my favorite Vine ever. Anyway, our defensive line is going to be one of the most unstoppable in the league. And our defense, that roster is going to be ridiculous. And we should have a very, very stacked and talented defense regardless. But adding Suh, it would be... I can't even.
Well,
put it
let's
into
not
words,
get ahead of ourselves.
Do you have any words?
Speculation. At the time of filming this video, he has not.
Okay.
He has not even met with the Titans, and I just like to stay away from speculation during the offseason because there's so much of it, and so much of it is false. It's fake news.
Yeah. Remember how excited we were about Dante Hightower?
Yeah. Remember how excited I was about our debate
at all.
If we should draft Jalen Ramsey or Laramie Tunzel with that pick. Yeah, we had that video all planned out.
And now we hate Jalen Ramsey, and we couldn't have less of a use
speculation on the D-line, but yes, the defensive roster is looking up, mainly because of 2 big signings from the Patriots. Yeah,
why don't we go ahead and get to that? Well, all right, let's... Well, okay, can I brush through the other important stuff? Avery Williamson is gone. Brushed aside. Good job, Avery. Thanks for your time here. But you made your money.
Avery was sorry, I'm rambling again. Good linebacker for us.
Okay, we're gonna ramble.
Yeah, we can ramble. Can we ramble about Avery Williamson for a second? He deserves more than this because I thought he was pretty good, and I think he's going to be a pretty good linebacker for the Jets. It's just I think in our scheme of defense we needed more of a hybrid linebacker, someone who can cover better than Avery could. That was a glaring weak point. I know he was a good tackler and good in run support, but you know what? The only reason I know the name Jack Doyle is because Avery Williamson cannot cover the dude. And I think that just in our defensive scheme that we're building, I think we need more of a hybrid linebacker. I know Jayon Brown's a pretty good coverage guy, but he's a little small to help out in run support. So I don't know. I think we could have upgraded that position.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think J-Rob saw it too. So we let Avery walk. We offered him some money.
Yeah, and I think I think he just wanted more money, and he deserves, to get the most money that he can, and the Jets were able to do that for him. So I'm glad he's making money, but yeah, I guess we just couldn't afford him, especially with these new big signings that we're having and these big contracts that we're going to have to dish out to franchise guys like Lawan, Mariota, Conklin, possibly Kevin Byard. So a lot of we got to be careful with how we're spending our money. But yeah, best of luck to Avery Williamson. I think he's going to have a good season with the Jets. If you're a Jets fan who somehow stumbled on this video, I think you guys are going to love him. I think he's going to work out really well up there.
I could see it being like another kind of Zach Brown situation. A pretty good linebacker for the Titans. He finally leaves the team, goes on to a better contract, maybe a situation where he can kind of blossom and star a little more, becomes a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker. That's what happened with So
that's true. And Zach Brown, we probably would have. I don't know. That was weird. Ken Wisenhunt just did not like him for whatever reason. Like he didn't get re-signed because he was playing bad. They just didn't like the guy.
It happens.
So I don't know.
Okay, let's get on to the main meat of this FA season.
Nope.
Nope. Oh, my gosh.
I got one more. Okay. Daquan Jones, welcome back. 3 years, $21 million. Yeah, quickly about him. He was really finally turning the corner at the end of last season before tearing his bicep tragically. He was finally showing up very frequently during games in the backfield, getting sacks, and that was the best that we've ever seen him play since we drafted him like 3 years ago. So I think this is a good re-signing. Hopefully he can be close to 100% after his injury. And if he is, I think, yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm glad we brought Daquan Jones back.
He chose J-Rob. We chose to keep Daquan Jones, release KLUUUG, and Sylvester Williams. I think we're making the right moves on the defensive line. I know there's some openings now, so we could bring in Sue, but I mean, Daquan was a big reason why our run defense was, tops in the league last year. So I think, the team is rewarding, well said effort of Daquan. He deserved it, man, and I'm glad we're keeping him around.
Yes.
I think he's going to be an asset to that defensive line for years to come.
Yeah, let's talk about these New England Patriots that are now Tennessee Titans. So first of all, Malcolm Butler, ex-New England Patriot. Obviously, that story where he was benched before the Super Bowl was a big lingering thing with him coming into this offseason. But you know what? In Malcolm Butler's press conference, he did say that, or I think it was Paul Kaharski asked him if John Robinson, Mike Vrabel brought this up, the situation with the Super Bowl, and he said no. Butler said that they didn't even ask him that during the meeting that they had before signing him. So which is kind of interesting to me. Like, none of that mattered at all. They were just locked in and focused on getting Malcolm Butler, the player, and what he can bring to the team, regardless of that falling out that he had in New England. But I think since then, I think he's handled that situation like a professional. He's addressed it. And he's sounds like a classy guy. And, yeah, Malcolm Butler, going to shore up this secondary. And I'm liking how this secondary is looking with him, Jackson, and Logan Ryan.
I think Logan Ryan had J-Rob's connection to the Patriots has helped in bringing over Malcolm Butler and Dion Lewis. But I'm going to throw some credit to Logan Ryan, too. I bet that guy played a major part. I mean, Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler won a Super Bowl together with the Patriots.
He called him.
I'm sure they were, pretty close. They were the tandem cornerbacks up there. So now we're just bringing that secondary that they had, a Super Bowl winning secondary, improving it with the likes of Adoree Jackson and Kevin Byard. And then you got Jonathan Cyprien back there. Man, it's looking like a good defense. But I love the Malcolm Butler signing, even despite the really weird and still unknown situation of his benching in the Super Bowl that no side is answering to. But,
yeah. Well, what Butler said was that, okay, he got sick, like he had the flu or something, and then he kind of just said that he felt like the coaches thought that he fell behind during the week and the preparation and the game plan, and they thought that, he wasn't ready to play due to his sickness kind of holding him back, which maybe he missed a couple meetings or something like that, and maybe that pissed off Belichick, and so I don't know. Dumb decision anyway, especially in that Super Bowl where their secondary was
hindsight is 2020.
The
Patriots win that game, and everyone's like, man, Belichick knew not to start Butler or something. Their secondary gets torched, and you're like, why didn't he even try him in the fourth quarter? But anyway, we already recapped the Super Bowl. But Malcolm Butler on the Titans is the news. Did we pay him too much, Justin? What do you think about his contract? $61 million for 5 years with over $30 million in guaranteed money. That's a pretty big contract for a cornerback.
Yeah, that is a lot. And I think that's probably the biggest contract that J-Rob has ever dished out as a Titan. I could be wrong. We've had a few mediocre contracts like Logan Ryan and Rashard Matthews. But, yeah, I think this is the biggest one. It's the big one from J-Rob. We have the money to spend, and I'm glad that I know a lot of Titans fans were clamoring, like, why are we such a cheap front office, blah, blah, blah. We have all this money, but we never make a big splash in free agency. Well, now we have that. We've made the big splash. Hopefully it pays off. It's paid off for teams like a prime example is Jacksonville, who signs big free agents all the time somehow. They just have infinity money, apparently. But like Calais Campbell, that was a huge free agent signing. A.J. Boye, those panned out beautifully for them. So now we're trying our guy in Malcolm Butler, and hopefully it'll have a similar effect and help really complete this defense. we're seeing less and less holes on this defense now.
I mean, I was already really optimistic for our secondary going into this next season with just Adoree Jackson, Logan Ryan, Kevin Byard, and then LaShawn Sims coming back from his injury, seeing what he could do, and now add in Malcolm Butler. I only think that's going to strengthen the depth of the secondary, and then also create some friendly, healthy competition between the top 3 and 4 cornerbacks. It's not just guaranteed that I think anyone's going to be starting or getting playing time, and I think that's something Mike Vrabel's gonna really hammer home too. Just because we're paying you some money doesn't mean that you automatically got a spot on the team. You got to come in and earn it, and I think the competition between Ryan and Butler and Jackson and throw Sims in there, I think it's gonna be really good for the team and for the defense as a whole with that dynamic.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, there's not like a clear-cut number 1, number 2 cornerback. They're just all really talented guys, and I think they even said themselves. I think Logan Ryan said that that they kind of will all see themselves as number 1 cornerbacks. Or maybe Butler said it in his press conference, but they all kind of see themselves going in as number 1 cornerbacks. And why can't a team have 3 number 1s?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect attitude to have for a star coming into a situation where he's going to have to kind of fight for some playing time or real playing time. I think that's the great attitude to have. You want to hear that from your cornerbacks. You want to hear that from your receiving core and your offense, that everyone views themselves as the number 1 option, the guy. They have the talent to get it done as the starter. So I think it's going to be awesome for the team. Okay, other Patriot that we signed, Dion Lewis. Yeah. What do you think about this deal?
This is interesting. I love it. First of all, if you told me I could pick any running back to complement Henry that was a free agent in the NFL, it probably would have been Lewis.
Really,
I would probably said Dion Lewis. Well, who else was a free agent?
Well, I feel like a lot of Titans fans were hoping for maybe like a Jerick McKinnon type of player.
Yeah, he was a big one,
Dion Lewis is still that same type of guy. But, now that I've kind of sat on it more, I think I like Dion Lewis a little bit better.
Yeah, it's the bias talking.
Yeah,
yeah. Because he is now a Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, we got Dion Lewis for on a 4-year deal for $20 million. So he's going to be sticking around for a while. And I do want to get to this and how this kind of affects Henry and his status. But I think they complement each other really well. Dion Lewis does things really well that Derrick Henry is really bad at. Catching passes out of the backfield, route running out of the backfield, pass blocking. He's super versatile. I mean, he could line up in the slot if he wanted to. We can do a lot of different things with Dion Lewis. And coming into a Matt LaFleur system, remember the Rams offense and how much Todd Gurley was used in the passing game? And then the year before that when he was with Atlanta and using Dante Freeman and who's the other guy, Telvin Coleman out of the backfield. Those guys were the most used dudes on their offense. Probably more so than Julio Jones. I think Dion Lewis is that kind of a back, and he'll get a lot of playing time.
I was just going to say, we saw his capabilities and his skill set first-handed.
He crushed us
in that playoff game.
In the playoffs.
And seeing that's something that the Titans don't have. We didn't have in either Henry or Murray, that type of skill set in a running back. So I think he complements Henry perfectly. And once again, I think we're good. People were like, oh, now that Henry's finally going to get the reins, be the bell cow running back. I think those days are dead for a lot of teams in the NFL. Looking at that position, you more have tandem running back duos splitting carries and trying to attack the team in different areas. And I think we got that now with Dion Lewis. So I love the signing. Yeah. And I think I saw a stat. Did you know that he was statistically the best running back through the last half of the year in terms of yardage and production?
I saw that. He led the league in rushing at the last half of the year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea. I feel like we got him for a steal now. But that's just kind of Patriots running backs in general. They'll probably, whoever's starting for them next year will probably lead the league in rushing because Tom Brady's back there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then they still have plenty of other great backs like James White, Burkhead. They use so many different running backs. But I do kind of want to get into this and the Derrick Henry thing as well with both of them now going to be splitting time. So Derrick Henry, I almost. I love the signing, but I almost kind of feel like Henry is almost, in his mind, I could see him thinking that he's getting a raw deal a little bit because at the end of last season, I think he very much earned the team's starting running back job, especially his performance against Kansas City. Just an amazing performance in the playoffs, and really looked like he could be the #1 running back for us in any NFL team. He looked like a #1 running back in the NFL. And I think that, going into the offseason and into this next season, we were like, yeah, Derrick Henry, boom, he's our starting running back. We're going to, ride with him going forward. And then this signing happens, and you see the offensive coordinator, you see all these changes happening. And I think, after being excited about Derrick Henry, letting go of DeMarco Murray, Henry finally has his chance. It would not surprise me if Dion Lewis ended up being our leading rusher.
Oh, not at all, man.
This next season over Derrick Henry, and him, taking the majority of the touches and carries, which kind of sucks for Derrick Henry. And I would love to see him, in the spotlight more and getting his opportunity. But I guess that's just not where the league is gearing towards. It hasn't really been for a while.
Hey, we don't know.
So yeah,
I think Henry's play style could really benefit Dion Lewis. So Dion Lewis would still want Henry to get his share of the touches, which I still think is going to happen. But I know we saw that incredible game from Henry in Kansas City in the first round of the playoffs. But he also showed some inconsistency when he was the lead running back. I mean, look at that Jacksonville game, last game of the year. I know he had that long touchdown on the screen pass, but in terms of running the ball, he looked extremely weak, extremely, just he didn't know which holes to hit. He was hesitant. He was, it just not looked like a starting running back. He did turn it around for that Kansas City game, but then once again was shut down. Our whole offense was shut down against the Patriots. So I still think the coaching staff saw some young immaturity in Henry's style of play, and I think that they just didn't want to put all their horses or whatever, put all their money on Henry to be the bell cow running back, work out. So
eggs in one basket.
I
want to.
Nice.
Wanted to make sure we got that metaphor.
That metaphor
right.
Doesn't exist out here in Colorado, so I forgot it happened. I forgot it existed. Yeah. So no, I think it's great. Love Dion Lewis and Henry. We have great running back duos. Great running back duo. We're going to be so good, man. We're going to be so good.
We're going to lead the league in every stat.
Defensive and offensive. I mean, both sides of the ball, we are looking incredibly improved already. Surprisingly, from a playoff team. We won a playoff game last year, and we've already, within 3 weeks of the offseason, I feel like we've improved greatly from the team that we were. That's what you want to see. That's what I wanted to see, and I like the direction we're heading. We made some big moves, some gutsy moves, really showing off that we got some gonads down there. We're letting loose some fan favorite players and well-liked coaches, but we're moving forward.
But doing things that's best for the team. I've got an early March hot take.
Give me that hot take. Quick. We don't do hot takes here, so this is something else, Justin. Tell me this hot take.
Okay. Seeing all these moves being made, and especially with this coaching staff, if this coaching staff is what we're hoping that it will be, or it will be what we're hoping it will be. If they turn out to improve the offense and overall team like we're expecting, I think this is the first year of our Super Bowl window being open for the foreseeable future. I think that this is the first year where we have an opening, a window where we can compete for a championship. Hopefully, a lot of that rests, I think, on the coaches and Matt LaFleur's system and being able to utilize these players to their strengths. But I think we got the roster. I think it's almost ready, the personnel to be ready to compete for a Super Bowl. And I think this is one of the first years. I think this is the first year we can say that.
I agree totally, and I think honestly, it's happening at the perfect time. I mean, I agree with everything you said, but it's happening at the perfect time with the scope of the rest of the AFC. I'm talking about, most likely Tom Brady and Bill Belichick will retire within the near future, kind of leaving the door. So hopefully, the Patriots will see at least a little bit of decline, leaving the window open in the AFC. I think teams already have been feeling that, definitely this past year.
Yeah. And Gronkowski? Is Gronkowski going to retire? There was talk about that.
Yeah.
That'd be huge loss for him.
The AFC is starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel because the Patriots are clearing out of the way. The train that was the Patriots is going away.
And the Steelers, Big Ben, is not getting any younger, and he's getting Not only he's still playing well, but yeah, he's another aging quarterback. He's not going to be around for much longer. So the big powerhouses of the AFC, the quarterbacks for those teams, not a lot of light left at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of a dark metaphor, but
meanwhile, though, you have a bunch of teams in the AFC that were bottom dwellers a few seasons ago that are really making moves to compete, like the Titans, like the Jags. Everyone. Jags were in the AFC Championship game. You cannot forget that, which is that blows my mind still to think about that. But yeah, it's not going to be easy now that these teams are starting to fade, starting to get over the hill. But I'm just saying it's a good time for our Super Bowl window to be opening.
Yes. Agreed. But that's true. You got the old guard passing, but yeah, there's a lot of new young talent that's just like us.
I just have faith.
So it'll be interesting. It'll be
I have faith in our young talent more than any other young talent in the league. I'm sorry.
Yes.
People.
Don't be sorry. It's truth.
Yeah, that is the truth. Thank you for reminding me.
Last thing, I guess, unless you have any more you want to say about our awesome new free agent signings that will have all pro seasons. No doubt. We got new jerseys coming in 2 weeks, dude. What? New jerseys. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. I just hope they don't suck.
I think I've seen more hype or comments or doubt, just more media surrounding the new jerseys than I saw about our wins and losses this past season. People are more concerned about how we look than how we play, it would seem. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be a big enough difference for me to look at them and be like, oh my God, I'm not rooting for that team again because their jerseys are so bad. It's going to be like, okay, those are the jerseys. I'm still pumped about the Malcolm Butler and Dion Lewis signing, and I can't wait to get to training camp. That's how I'm kind of viewing it. Yeah, you know what? I have this Mariota jersey. I'm still going to wear it. It's now like a retro classic.
Yeah.
I have,
that's vintage now, bro. That's vintage.
Vintage. A SA, dude. I want to get a new age SA jersey. It'll say SA, dude.
New age.
I don't, But what do you think about the jerseys? You think they're going to be extremely different? You think they're going to have that made an impact on the organization?
I think it'll make our players better if the jerseys are cool. Now that I like our jerseys now, and are they due for an update? Maybe, but I don't think it would have killed to stick with the jerseys that we're currently wearing. I like the two-tone blue. I hope we stick with the two-tone blue theme. And I don't know, as long as it's not like as long as not too much is going on, if you know what if you know what I mean, in the designs, in the color scheme. I don't want it to be too busy of a jersey. I think I like this saying a lot. Less is more, and that applies to a lot of things how I feel about a lot of things. But jerseys included in that. I don't know. Some of the simpler jerseys are some of my favorites. I like the Raiders jersey.
Oh my God, dude! I was about to say, I hate the Colts jerseys.
That's a classic look.
I hate it.
You hate them?
I hate those. I hate it.
That is super bland. It's almost too bland. But I kind of like the classic look a little bit. I don't know. The Seahawks change in when was that? 5 years ago. That was pretty major. I didn't like it at first, but I guess I warmed up to it a little bit.
I think if I had to give you a hot take right now, I think our jerseys will be more in line with modern day standards like the Seahawks are. I think they'll still retain the two-tone blue. Yeah, it's just the jerseys and the logo color scheme will be kind of brought a little into modern day times. Honestly, I think it's just a sales technique. Sorry, Titans organization, but that's what it is. The city of Nashville is growing. There's a lot of hype around the city, a lot of hype around the team. A lot of people are moving there. Why not go ahead and change the jerseys up before the Super Bowl window opens, and then everyone buys it. Everyone has to buy new jerseys to fit in with the team. Yeah. It's a great sales technique.
Thanks for bringing.
I'm just looking at the business aspect.
It's all about money. It's always about money.
It is.
That's the
true
answer.
Life comes down to money.
That's the only reason we're getting jerseys.
Kids, if you're watching this, just go ahead and sell everything, get all the money you can. And then buy a new Mariota jersey and try to get him to sign it because it'll be awesome and it'll be worth your money.
Well, good. I agree. All right. Well, It's good to be back.
It is.
With you guys. Do we have any closing remarks? We just wanted to comment on these free agent signings and say goodbye to the old ones, the old members of our
sounds
team.
good. I salute you, fallen Titans players, and I welcome in the new regime. Thank you. Welcome to the Titans team.
Oh, I have to give one more shout out to a guy we re-signed again to our team.
Yeah.
Josh Kline, another former Patriot. He's we got him locked up for the next few years. So good for Josh. And I guess that's good. And you know, there's been talk of the scheme of our offense being geared more towards a zone blocking scheme. And I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly what that means, but I've heard that Josh Kline, that's what he does really well. He does well in that kind of a scheme. So it makes sense. That signing makes sense to bring Josh Kline back, and glad to have him back. Thanks.
I think he was a solid guard for us, or tackle. What was he? Guard. That's what
guard.
the right
guard.
Wow.
Next to Conklin.
Man, off-season really hit me out here.
Do you even watch
the altitude?
Do you even watch
I just think some of his weaknesses were more exposed with the exotic smash mouth, and people focused a lot on that rather than his strengths. But I think J-Rob and Vrabel see what he's capable of bringing to the team, and I'm looking for a really good season out of him. I think he can be a good player.
Yeah. So we've got Kline, Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, Mike Vrabel, John Robinson. How many more Patriots do we have to add before we become complete?
I'm not sure.
Belichick. Robert Kraft.
We can probably get Robert Kraft. Maybe get someone else. Okay, yeah, that's about it. That's all I got, Justin.
This is going nowhere. Yes. All right, me too. We got some more off-season content. We've got some things brewing in the works. It's been a while. We didn't mean for there to be this long of a gap, but life happens.
I apologize. It's probably all my fault.
Life comes at you fast.
It's all the Colts' fault. Let's blame it on them. They're trying to sabotage Titans too.
It really is.
So everyone send hateful tweets towards the Colts organization, and Jim Irsay, thank you. Signing out. Caleb from Denver, Colorado.
Yes. All right. And Justin from Nashville, Tennessee, Titans. Y'all have a good one.